Game show, the Wildcat Marching Band. So let's go down to the field to listen to this Fort Payne Wildcat Marching Band.
The band is under the field direction of drum major Emily Martin. We begin tonight's performance with an old-fashioned 4th of July parade called Make America.
Payne Wildcat Marching Band with another outstanding performance as they're performing before the activities tonight, pregame. And there is the Wildcat Marching Band. So let's go ahead and take another commercial as we get ready for the kickoff. We'll be back in one moment on the Wildcat Sports Network. Stadium, the playing of the national anthem now, and a special guest will be singing the national anthem tonight. Let's go down to the field.
If you'll please stand with us. Tonight we're proud to present national recording artist Darren Norwood for our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Darren Norwood here for the big softball game tomorrow night, singing our national anthem. We're still about 7 minutes away from the kickoff, so let's take our last break as we get ready for the kickoff. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Just a few moments away as Fort Payne and Buckhorn are about ready to do battle. A very important game for both teams. Both teams, as we mentioned earlier, have already lost one area game as Buckhorn lost a couple of weeks ago to Johnson. Fort Payne lost that same weekend to North Jackson. So 2 losses is going to make it awfully difficult to make the playoffs. A must-win for both teams as Fort Payne is ready to come on the field down to our left. The victory line is there across the way, still waiting on Buckhorn to get here, but I'm sure they'll be here. They've got their captains coming out on the field right now. But Roger Engel, a very important game, as we talked about a little earlier. The winner of this one, well, the loser of this was really going to be in trouble.
Right, as we said, with the addition of additional teams in our area, you'd have to think the 2 losses would probably put you out of the race, Larry.
Here come the Wildcats led out onto the field. Fort Payne dressed in those gold pants, black shirt, silver helmet. Fort Payne and Buckhorn. Let's quickly run through the starting lineups. First of all, for the Fort Payne Wildcats, Fort Payne will start on offense. Brian Jones, the 6'3", 232-pound senior. Zane Hardinger and Bo Wilson will be the guards. And the tackles are Dustin Hill and Rory Jones. Justin Pate will be the split end. And Jonathan, well, Heath Owen will be in there to tight end position. Alex Igo will be the wing back. We're also going to see an awful lot of Thomas Ross at one of the wideouts. Quarterback will be Kenny Chadwick. At fullback tonight, we think it's going to be Jonathan Dreyer, but we're also probably going to see an awful lot of Chris Mitchell. The 5'8", 148-pound junior, Justin Garmany, is dressed for tonight's game, but he will not play, according to Coach Elmore. The tailback, of course, will be Darrell Prater. Darrell's carried the ball 69 times for 461 yards, averaging 6.7 yards a carry, and he scored 5 touchdowns for the Wildcats. We're also going to see an awful lot of Jonathan Dreyer in there at the fullback position. Defensively, Jeremy Taylor is going to start at the nose guard, but Roger's going to be interesting to find out how long he can go. He is suffering an ankle injury, and he's really banged up.
Yeah, he came in and out of the game 4 or 5 times last week.
Dustin Hill and Will Stevens will start at the tackles. Brett Middlebrook and Brian Jones will start at the ends. Gary Wright will play an awful lot in there also. Jonathan Dreyer and Zane Hardinger will be the linebackers. Anthony Thompson. We got a couple of new starters. Jonathan Sugar is going to start in that defensive secondary tonight. And going to try to give a couple of players a little bit of a rest. But Fort Payne's Kenny Chadwick going to try to rest him a little bit on offense and going to try to rest Darrell Prater as much as they can on offense. The captains are out there for Fort Payne. It is number 31. That's the senior, Nathan Nail. Also number 72, Rory Jones. And number 12, Gary Mintz. The captains for Buckhorn are, cannot see their numbers. I think that's number 11, the quarterback, Jeff Watson. We'll try to pick those numbers up just in a minute. But let's run through those lineups as Roger, if you'll get the coin toss for us. A very young Buckhorn team. Buckhorn only starts 2 seniors on offense and 2 seniors on defense. So a very young team as Fort Payne has won the coin toss. The Buckhorn Bucks will start senior Jeff Watson at quarterback. He's a big youngster, 6'3", 180-pounder. Fullback will be a junior, Ryan Elmore, 5'10", 210 pounds. LaBerick Williams will be the tailback, number 12, 5'10", 175-pound junior. But we're going to see an awful lot of Fred Adams tonight. We think we're going to see a lot of Adams. Adams is their premier running back, number 25, 5'11", 185 pounds. He has a badly sprained ligament in the front of his foot. And this is the first chance, talking to the coach on the field, Coach Mask on the field, and he said the doctors have said just go as long as you can, so they're going to try him tonight. But he didn't look like he was full speed out there warming up. But they're going to try Fred Adams and see if he can go tonight. Chad McGlathy will be the wing back. The split end, you're going to see an awful lot of him. Number 23, Brandon Robinson, he looks more like a basketball player than he does a football player. 6'5", 175-pound lanky kid, a junior. And according to Coach Elmore, they just kind of send him on a fly down the sideline and throw the ball up in the air and let him go get it. So Fort Payne will have to contend with Brandon Robinson. The tight end will be Jonathan Crutcher. He's a junior, 6'2", 210 pounds. The tackles are Nick Chrysler and Justin Cassidy. The guards are Jody Anderson and Jason Bell. And the center is Michael Moody. Buckhorn will have the ball to start this game, and Fort Payne will kick it away. Roger, can't overemphasize the importance of this game and the importance of Fort Payne getting off to a good start.
Well, you know, even though we've had a bad season to this point, if we can win tonight, the season is not lost. But if we lose tonight, you'd think it could lead to more difficulties down the road.
Fort Payne just kind of been a snake bit team all year. They make a good play. It seems like they get it called back with a penalty. Kenny Chadwick made that great pass last week to Heath Owen. They ran it down to about the 20-yard line. Got called back for Fort Payne's only holding call of the night. And nullified about a 50-yard gain. And just going to have to eliminate those mistakes. Fort Payne's Kenny Chadwick will kick it away. And the Buckhorn Bucks will send deep. Number 12, that is LaBerick Williams. And Williams will stand on his own 5-yard line, and we're about ready to get this homecoming game underway. Kenny got his foot into it, knocked it down to Williams. Williams is going to take it at the 1-yard line. Up the middle of the 5, looks for that wedge. Got a wedge, got to the 15, got to the 20. He's outside, and he's going to be tackled up around the 45-yard line. And if that one player, I think that was Kenny Chadwick, it was Kenny. If Kenny Chadwick doesn't make that tackle, he's going to go all the way.
He went right up the middle, Larry, and outran everyone except Kenny, and he was the last hope, as you mentioned. So they'll start at their own 44-yard line with the Buckhorn Bucks.
Kenny Chadwick with probably a touchdown-saving tackle. And here will come the Buckhorn Bucks. They have Watson in there at the quarterback position, and Williams will start at the tailback, but we are going to see Adams. Now they only have one back in the backfield. They put Elmore on this near side, pitched the ball to Williams, coming this near side, got to the 40, got outside, got to the 45, got up to the 50-yard line, and got knocked down up there by Nathan Nail. But Williams went from the 44. They mark him at the 49, a 5-yard gain right off the bat for LaBerick Williams.
As you said, Nell made the tackle, but Larry, if they don't stop Dreyer, their quarterback won't last very long, because Dreyer, just as the quarterback released the ball, drove him into the ground crunch time. So they're going to have to do something about Dreyer.
Ball at the 49-yard line, a yard short of the midfield position. They have that same offense now. They spread the field. I think Fort Payne would much rather see them spread the field than go up there with 2 tight ends. And then they're going to run up the middle, keep the ball, don't throw the ball, throws the ball down the field. He has a man open down there. It is incomplete. He had a man running by himself down around the 25-yard line. The pass was incomplete as he tried to hit number 31 down there. That was Jim White, and White couldn't get to it.
White had beaten David Crabtree on that left side, Larry. If he'd caught it, he'd have probably at least made it inside the 20-yard line.
It'll be 3rd down and 5, a possession play now for the Buckhorn Bucks, as they will send Robinson to the far side of the field. Keep your eye on him, number 23. Anthony Thompson goes out there to pick him up. Anthony is about a foot shorter than Robinson. 3rd down and 5, possession play for Jeff Watson. And going to run up the middle on the trap play, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield. As Fort Payne Hardinger came in there and knocked him down. Looked like he lost his balance, and Hardinger came in there to close him out 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, one of those little misdirection plays. Zane read it all the way, but managed to bring him down for a loss, and Buckhorn will have to punt.
Well, a 4-yard loss, and the Buckhorn Bucks will kick it away. Fort Payne's defense has held on the first play. They'll kick it away from about the 35-yard line. Fort Payne has one player deep, that is Darrell Prater. Marcus Rice will kick it away. Got a good snap and got away a kick that is going to spiral off to that far side. Darrell Prater comes up and got it to 20 and got knocked around, but stayed on his feet and trying to get to the outside of the 25. Down this near sideline, he's going to go all the way, I think. He's at the 50. He's got blockers in front of him, the 45, 40, and Darrell Prater is going to take it 80 yards for a touchdown.
And no flags.
Darrell Prater got hit when he caught the ball. He got spun around, and he went 82 yards for the Wildcat touchdown.
And I don't really think Darrell was really running at full speed. I noticed he put on a little extra burst around the 10 to outrun the lone defender that did have possibly a chance to bring him down.
Well, we said Fort Payne needed to get off to a good start. How's that, Mr. Engel, for a good start? 82-yard punt return. Sugar will kick it up there, got it in the air, and knocked it through. With 10:04 to go in the opening quarter, Fort Payne leads it by a score of 7-0. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Is happy to bring you Wildcat.
Carroll wanted to return that up the far side. He got hit and spun around, and when he got to this near sideline, you could just see the wall form over here. And if Fort Payne had about 7 or 8 blockers and a couple of defenders there, and if those blockers did their job, you knew he was going to go all the way, and they did a great job, and he did go all the way for the touchdown.
Well, actually, I think he just slipped on the turf. It looked like his right leg went out from under him. But as you said, once he did reverse direction and come to this near side, you can see from up here, there was only one person that possibly could catch up with him.
Kick it off.
And Kenny Chadwick will kick it away as Fort Payne jumps out front 7-0. Chadwick got his foot in it and knocked it deep. That ball's going to go 5 yards into the end zone. And great job there by Kenny Chadwick. No run back on that one as Kenny pinned it into the end zone. Buckhorn will start on their 20.
Well, a big difference. Last time they got the ball at their own 44. This time they'll start at their own 20. And that helps considerably. That's 2 first downs less we'll have to worry about.
Absolutely. 10:04 to go in the first quarter. Fort Payne 7, Buckhorn nothing. And the Bucks, known to be a good offensive team and an average defensive team, see if they can get anything cranked up on offense. Fort Payne's defense shut them down the first time they had it. Watson is your quarterback. They only have that one back in there, and that's going to be Williams. Going to pitch the ball to Williams, coming in near side. Got to the 20, cut it back in. It got knocked down after about a 2-yard gain.
Well, you don't even have to look to see who it was. You can tell by the way he was hit. And, of course, it was Dreyer.
Hit him on the 23-yard line, so a 3-yard gain by Williams. LeBaric Williams is his name. Up to the 23-yard line, 9:43 to go. 7-0 Fort Payne, and Fort Payne's offense has not been on the field yet. They send the man to the far side. They send Brandon Robinson out of the game. And now they split number 7 wide out there. That is their backup quarterback. As Marcus Rice will split out to the far side. They still have Watson in their quarterback. Single back in the backfield. Rather option play to the far side and pitch the ball to Williams. Williams got outside the 20, 25, 30, 35, up to the 40-yard line. He may go all the way. He's at the midfield, 40, 35, 30, and Dreyer chases him and got him. Jonathan Dreyer ran him down from behind and caught him at the 18-yard line.
Well, we had problems with that last week, Larry. Once they made the corner, they picked up big plays. This time, the first time that Buckhorn was able to make the corner, they go inside the Wildcat 20.
But the thing about that play was that Jonathan Dreyer ran him down from behind. They mark it at the 18-yard line, but it was not a touchdown. From the 23 to the 18, we'll figure out how many yards. How many yards is that there, Raj?
It's a neighborhood of 60, 61.
So here is Buckhorn to the line of scrimmage. They have Watson in there, and they have Williams back in there. Going to pitch the ball to Williams, coming this near side. That's not Williams, but he got to the 20, cut it inside, got to the line of scrimmage, and plowed onto the 15, and across the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Zane Hardinger.
That was Bailey on the carry. He went from the 18 to the 16. Picked up a couple of yards.
Dustin Hill and Zane Hardinger both was in on the tackle. One thing they're doing on these pitches, they're really pitching it way deep into the backfield. So by the time they reach the line of scrimmage, those running backs have already picked up a good bit of speed.
Gained 4 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 6, and now they go to the Ryan Elmore is in there at fullback, and they have a different tailback in there. Barking the signal, back to pass, going to throw the ball down that far sideline. He's throwing it for Robinson. It's going to be complete for the touchdown. Brandon Robinson just jumped over Anthony Thompson and caught that. They've been doing that all year.
Well, he's 6'5", so it's no wonder he could out-jump our defender.
So the pass was complete from Jeff Watson to Brandon Robinson for 14 yards and a touchdown. They will try to add the extra point as Daniel Brooks will try to kick it through there with 8:10 to go. Maybe a wide open offensive gain, and Buckhorn jumped. I think Buckhorn will be penalized 5 yards here.
Well, before the game started, I heard an analogy. Said, well, they score a lot, and their opponents typically score a lot. So far, it looks like that's going to be a true statement.
I think this will be a high-scoring game. Buckhorn scored with 8:10 to go, so it took them exactly 2 minutes to get that tying touchdown. Brooks will try to kick this one up from the 15-yard line. Snap is there. The kick is away. The kick is no good. Pushed it off to the left. With 8:10 to go in the first quarter, Fort Payne leads it by a score of 7-6. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. 8 yards, and only took them 3 plays. The big play in that whole drive was the LeBaric 61-yard run, but Buckhorn scored in a hurry.
Well, on the scoring play, Larry, it didn't look like it caught us off guard. We kind of expected it. Just such a differential in the height of the receiver and our defender. I just couldn't do anything about it.
Fort Payne will get the ball now for their first offensive set. As Brooks is ready to kick it away, Darrell Prater stands on his 5. Got his foot into it and tried to knock it away from Darrell and knocked it out of bounds over there. Fort Payne will set up in business at the 35. So Fort Payne will be in good shape as they start their first offensive drive of the night. The Wildcats will have Kenny Chadwick, and we'll check that fullback and see who's in there at fullback for Fort Payne.
Dryer's out on the field.
So Jonathan Dryer will start at fullback for Fort Payne. Of course, the tailback will be Darrell Prater. Alex Igo, Thomas Ross will come to the near side. Heath Owen will be the tight end on the far side. So it will be Dryer and Prater in the I, dotting the I behind the quarterback, Kenny Chadwick. Fort Payne 7, Buckhorn 6. With 8:10 to go in the opening quarter, Fort Payne will send Igo in motion back to the near side of the field. Go pitch the ball to Darrell Prater. Darrell trying to get outside, got a block, cut it back in, and got snowed under, but still managed to get about 4 yards out of it. Went from the 35 to the 39, and Darrell on his first carry picks up 4.
Well, number 19, Dominique Herford, came in to bring him down after Darrell was able to elude that first line of defenders. Herford came in to bring him down.
Fort Payne will send in the plays as they send Gary Mintz in with the play on a 2nd down and 6 for the Wildcats. 7:40 to go in the opening quarter. Homecoming here at Fort Payne. A good crowd on hand from Fort Payne. Not a lot of people across the way made the trip from Huntsville, Buckhorn High School. Fort Payne will send a man in motion back to the far side. They run their quick trap up the middle. Dryer got an opening, got to the 40, got to the 41. Tried to get outside, and somebody had a hold of him, and Jonathan was able to drag him across the 39, picked up a couple of yards.
Everything that he got on that play, he did it with number 45, Eric Morris, draped around him. So Jonathan just did that all on his own.
Fort Payne has it on the 41. They've got to get to the 45 for a first down, so a possession play for the Wildcats. They'll send Igo to the far side of the field, Ross to the near side, and line up in the I set. Heath Owen, the tight ends on the far side. And we're going to run up and gave it to Darrell Prater. Darrell is not going to get his first down. Dove off that far side and went from the 41 up to the 43. Picked up a couple of yards. Fort Payne will have to kick it away.
Eric Morris, once again, the tackler.
They're going to give him a couple of yards, and Fort Payne, I don't know, they're not sending in their kicking team, so let's see what Fort Payne's going to do. I think they're probably going to try to draw them offside. I don't think Fort Payne would go for it this early in the game with the ball on the 44-yard line. They have a power eye set in there, so let's see if Fort Payne does, in fact, go for it on 4th and 2. They've got to get to the 45 for a first down. And the Wildcats, Buckhorn jump did not get into the neutral zone. Fort Payne is trying to draw them offsides. And now they're going to just take the penalty, I guess. If now the official will ever, Fort Payne just, Kenny Chadwick's just going to back away, and there's the flag. Almost drew them offsides, but not quite.
I'm sure the coach had warned them that that is probably what the Wildcats was going to do. So it just didn't work there. It gives us a little more punting room.
Kenny's done a good job playing the ball this year. And they'll step it back to the 38. Kenny Chadwick will kick it away. He'll probably hit it from about his own 30. Buckhorn will send LeBarick Williams deep. And Kenny will probably hit it from about the 30 with 6:02 to go in the quarter. Fort Payne with a lead. Here's the kick, and he, not a very good kick. Got it up in the air. Williams go call for the fair catch. They let it bounce. It's bounced, got a good bounce. Bounce across the 25 and all the way down to the 20-yard line. So Kenny got a great bounce out of that. He got a rush from that far side and had to kick it up in the air, but got a good bounce out of it. Knocked it down to the 20. But this is where Buckhorn started their last drive from. It took them 3 plays to go 80 yards. Timeout on the officials. Is this the timeout for the Heat with 5:52 to go in the opening quarter? There's timeout on the field. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
At Fort Bridgestone Dealer, Fort Payne and Fife, Westmoreland time.
From the 20-yard line, Watson is your quarterback. Watson's going to run it up the middle. And Williams got outside and got about 4 yards. Just a little dive play, and Williams went from his 20 to the 24-yard line.
Dustin Hill managed to trip him up on the play and save a few more yards as he picks up 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6. Close to 7, actually.
They'll mark him at about the 24 with 5:31 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Payne leads it by a score of 7-6. The Bucks will send Brandon Robinson to this near side, and they have a wide out to the far side also. That fullback is offset. They're going to run the option to the near side. Kept it himself. Got up to the 25. Got to the 28. And got tackled down there. As Fort Payne's Jonathan Dreyer came up and knocked Watson down about 2 yards short of the first down.
A good job by the Bucks right side of that line. Dreyer had to come in from that linebacker spot to make the tackle, but their line really actually did a good job of making a hole for him.
They've got to get it across the 30-yard line. This they didn't. Keep in mind that Chadwick's punt was down to about 2 feet short of the 20, so they've got to get it across the 30 for the first down. So here's a 3rd down possession play for the Buckhorn Bucks. Watson may be audible in at the line of scrimmage. You see they have a wishbone set in the backfield. And he's going to run up the middle. Gave it to Williams. He got his first down. Fumble the football. Fort Payne has it. Jonathan Dreyer, I think it was, that hit him, and Crabtree recovered.
I believe that's David's at least 2nd fumble recovery of the year. It could be his 3rd, but I know of 2.
Fort Payne will have it in great position at the 35-yard line of Buckhorn. So the first big break goes Fort Payne's way. And the Wildcats will send Thomas Ross to the near side. They put Alex Igo out to the far side and put Heatho in the tight end on the far side. Line up in the I set. Going to run the option play to the far side. Gave it up the middle of Jonathan Dreyer, and he struggled. He got about 3 yards out of it. Went down to the 32. Went from the 35 to the 32. Picked up about 3 yards, did Dreyer.
That was David Bailey making the tackle for Buckhorn.
4:10 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Payne needs to take advantage of this turnover by the Buckhorn Bucks as they'll send Mintz out to the far side along with Pate. And line up in that same formation. They bring Heatho in the tight end to the near side. The I set on a 2nd down and 7 for Kenny Chadwick. And Chadwick will run his option play, going to run his reverse play, and gave it away, and Alex Pate fell down in the backfield. Just tripped up and fell down about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was Justin Pate. He simply lost his footing and fell down for a loss on the play. So now our way back to the original line of scrimmage, where it will be 3rd and 10 for Fort Payne at the Buckhorn 35.
He had a chance to pick up some yardage, it looked like. Looked like he had some blocking over here. And if he could have got to the corner, I think he could have got down this sideline. Here's a third down play, 3rd and 10 for Fort Payne. Kenny will move his fullback to the far side of the field. They line up in double tight end set. Single back in the backfield, and Chadwick will roll back the pass. Chadwick rolls out of pressure. He has a man to go and run the ball. Got to the 30-yard line and lowered his head. He had somebody, Alex Igo and Thomas Ross. And he kept it and picked up about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5, a big possession play for Fort Payne. They've got to get it into the 25 for a first down.
Well, the time the receivers got open, though, he was running for his life, and he just could not pick them up. So the Wildcats will have to punt.
No, we're going to try a field goal.
Oh, a field goal. Excuse me, yes, on the 31.
Long-distance field goal. It will be about
48.
a 48-yard field goal by Kenny Chadwick. Tate will hold it, and Kenny will try to knock it up there from 48 yards away.
Number 15, Kenny.
48-yard field goal attempt. The snap is there. The kick is good enough. The kick is long enough. The kick is no good. Hit it off to the left, but he hit it long enough with 2:16 to go. Fort Payne still leads it by a score of 7-6.
Well, it's kind of a knuckleball, Larry. It really never looked like it had much of a chance, although it had the distance.
So Fort Payne squanders their first chance to take advantage of a turnover. Now give it back to Buckhorn at the 20-yard line. Need to take advantage of those breaks every time you get them. Fort Payne wasn't able to do it. So here come the Bucks from their own 20. And they have Williams lined up at the tailback position, and they offset Elmore to that far side. And Watson is your quarterback. Going to pitch the ball to Williams to the far side. Got across the 20, cut it inside, and cut it back outside and picked up 5 yards. LeBerick Williams, he is their backup running back. We haven't seen Fred Adams yet, but Williams picked up 5. Give him 4 yards. We'll give him 5 yards on the play.
Williams had a little bit of a tough time getting hold of the ball, almost a fumble on that play.
A minute 54 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Payne scored on a 82-yard punt return from Darrell Prater. Buckhorn came back and drove 80 yards in 3 plays. Scored on a Robinson pass reception. Here's a 2nd down and 5 for the Buckhorn Bucks with a minute 37 to go. They send Robinson to this near side. And Fort Payne shifting that defense. One back in the backfield. They're going to roll back the pass. Being pressured there. Dreyer has him and down he goes. Back to 12. Jonathan Dreyer came flying in there and knocked Jeff Watson back at the 15. Inside the 15, they're going to mark it.
I believe I said after the first play of the game they were going to have to find an answer to Jonathan Dreyer coming through the line. And even though that's the first time he's really gotten to him, he's hit him 3 or 4 other times.
An 11-yard loss will mark it all the way back to the 14. Will bring up 3rd and long. I bet they're going to throw the ball to Brandon Robinson now. Wouldn't you think they just lob it up there to Robinson? No, they're not either, because he goes out of the game. So Robinson out of the game now. They got to get to the 30 for the first down. 3rd down possession play for Buckhorn. Watson is your quarterback. The straight eye this time. Going to run his draw play to Williams. And Williams got hit in the backfield and knocked down. Fort Payne shot that linebacker. Actually, they shot their defensive end there, Gary Wright. And Wright knocked him off balance, and somebody else closed him off right around the line of scrimmage.
So a really good defensive stand for the Wildcats as they'll force Buckhorn to punt after losing about 7 yards on that possession.
You know what happened the last time Buckhorn kicked it? Fort Payne sends Darrell Prater back. He's actually standing on his own 48-yard line. And they're going to try to punt it away. Marcus Rice will kick it from about his own 5. The snap is true and got his left-footed kick away, and Darrell's going to come up and catch it at the 40. Fumble the football. And Fort Payne picked it up, so Thompson picked it up to the 40. Down the 35-yard line, and Anthony Thompson picked the ball up and went all the way to the 32. The kicking game is really coming up roses for Fort Payne as Darrell fumbled it. Anthony picked it up and took it down to the 33 as the first quarter comes to an end. At the end of the first quarter, the score is Fort Payne 7, Buckhorn 6. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Stop by the Alabama Band Fan Club at the South Y in Fort Payne for other gifts and souvenirs.
From the Buckhorn 33-yard line, Fort Payne has it. They have Mitchell in there at the fullback position. Darrell Prater is your tailback. They're going to give the ball to Darrell. Darrell got a block outside and spun it back in, picked up about 3 yards, all the way down to the 30-yard line, still on his feet. Great power running there by Darrell Prater as he only picked up 3 yards, but it was a tough run for Darrell Prater.
Yeah, finally Noah Tyler made the tackle, but up to that point, Larry, he was being hit around pretty hard by the defensive guys for Buckhorn.
Actually give him a 2-yard gain on that play with 11:35 to go in the half. Fort Payne leads it by a score of 7-6. Fort Payne will send the wide out to the near side. That's Mintz. And they'll put Pate on the far side along with Heath Owen on that far side. 2nd down and 9, let's call it, for Kenny Chadwick. Kenny is going to give it to Darrell outside. Darrell is going to be outside at the 30 and broke a tackle, broke another tackle, and got it all the way to the 22. Power running there by Darrell Prater as he just pulled his way forward and refused to go down. They're going to mark him down on at the 22-yard line and
should have a first down maybe
going to measure, but man alive, that was an 8-yard run by Darrell Prater when it didn't look like there was anything there.
I believe this will be a first down, Larry.
It'll be at the 22-yard line, and it will be either first or long.
If it is a first down for the Wildcats, it'll be the first down for Fort Payne. Of course, Buckhorn has just registered 1 first down.
It is a first down, so Fort Payne will have it at the 22-yard line of Buckhorn with 11:05 to go. Certainly need to cash this one in. Fort Payne leads it 7-6. Thomas Ross to the far side. And Fort Payne will attack this Buckhorn defense. Buckhorn has given up a lot of points this year, but they have also scored a lot of points. Here is Kenny Chadwick going to run his option play. Kept it off this near side, short side of the field. Kept it and dove inside there, got close to the 21. Wiped out an official and picked up a couple of yards on the play. Let's see where they mark him. They're going to mark him about the 21, picked up a yard. So Kenny picked up a yard into the 21 with 10:32 to go. Ran that option back to the short side of the field. Now Fort Payne will send in Anthony Thompson. He'll replace Alex Igo.
We did a good job that time blocking that official out on the corner.
I don't think you're supposed to do that though, Rod. Here is a second down and 9 for the Wildcats. And Fort Payne had a back in motion. They ran the inside reverse to Anthony Thompson. He got knocked down, but Fort Payne's Chris Mitchell was in motion. And I would imagine, well, I don't want to help the Buckhorn coaching staff call this, but they might decline this penalty. Chris Mitchell was in motion, and it'll be a 5-yard step off if they take the penalty, and they might. Thompson picked up about 3 yards, and they declined the penalty. They only picked up 1 yard. So Anthony Thompson picked up 1 yard, and they mark it down to the 20. It'll be 3rd down now and 8 for Fort Payne. Heath Owen on the far side and Pate on the near side. They still have that same I formation for the quarterback, Kenny Chadwick. Ran his option play and kept it himself and got horse-collared right at the 17-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 6. Kenny ran his option play off to this near side and kept it and darted inside, and somebody grabbed him around the neck and flung him down at the 17.
That was 56 Noah Tyler who horse-collared him and brought him down.
Now go for another long-distance field goal with 9:31 to go. This one will be from the 24, a 34-yard field goal by Kenny Chadwick.
Field goal from 27 yards.
34-yard field goal. The kick is away. The kick is long enough. Again, this one looks good, and this one is no good. Well, 9:11 to go. That ball looked to me like it was, well, I guess it was no good.
It must have been to the left.
He hit it good. So Fort Payne's missed a couple of field goals. Roger, I bet the Buckhorn coaching staff is feeling real good right now. Fort Payne has twice had the ball inside the Buckhorn 35 and have come away with no points.
Especially when you add to it, they've had a turnover and gave us a freebie basically on that return.
It'll be 1st down.
Watson is your quarterback for Buckhorn. They have a single back in the backfield, and they're going to pitch the ball to Williams going to the far side. Got outside to the 20, got to the 23, 25, and got across the 25-yard line. They mark him right at the 25, I think, so it'll be a 5-yard gain for Williams.
Rory Jones managed to get a hold of his ankles and kind of slow him up, and I think you just kind of stumbled from that point on. And he picks up still 5 yards on the play.
8:50 to go in the half. Fort Payne 7, Buckhorn 6. Homecoming here on the campus of Fort Payne High School. Fort Payne defense settles in there as Buckhorn will send wideouts left and right. Watson is your quarterback, and Watson's going to give it to Williams up the middle, and Williams is going to get his first down. Across the 30-yard line is Anthony Thompson. Came up there and chopped his feet out from under him, but he dove forward to the 30 and got his first down, I think. They mark him just across the 30. Got to be a first down. So another 5-yard gain for Williams. Williams is going to be getting close to 100 yards.
He's at 88 right now, Larry, on 8 carries.
Into the game will come a big old tight end there, Jonathan Crutcher. Buckhorn moving the ball on Fort Payne. They have a wide out to the far side of the field. They send Brandon Robinson the near side. He's guarded there by Anthony Thompson. Watson is your quarterback. The straight eye set in the backfield for this Buckhorn team, and Watson may be changing the play. And the money's up the middle, man. Williams got a hold and got about 5 more yards out of it. Ran it off to the far side, the power play to the far side, and Williams went for 5 yards.
Zane Hardinger made the tackle. There, they look a little faster now, does Buckhorn, all of a sudden. Maybe they've got a little breath or something, but they're looking a little bit quicker than they did in their first couple of possessions, well, other than the 60-yard run.
Buckhorn, a very young team. On offense, they started 2 seniors, 8 juniors, and a sophomore. The quarterback, Watson, is one of those seniors. The other one's a lineman. Second down and 5 for Watson. He'll roll back the pass. Throws it. It's going to be off the hands and intercepted by Crabtree. He's at the 45 to the 40-yard line, and down he goes at the 39-yard line. Off the hands of the intended receiver, and David Crabtree was there to grab it away.
Well, there's another turnover for David. Either his 3rd or 4th. We know of at least 3. Dave playing good to be a sophomore back there in the secondary.
Fort Payne will have it for the 3rd time inside the Buckhorn 40-yard line, and they got to get something out of there. They're marking it to 39. Fort Payne has been inside the 40 twice and have gotten nothing out of it. They need to get something out of this. They send Alex Igo to the near side, and the quarterback Chadwick will run his trap play. Got it to Darrell. Darrell got outside. 35, down to the 30, cut it back across at the 25, and on down to the 18-yard line goes Darrell Prater. 21-yard run by Darrell Prater with 6:59 to go.
Think if Darrell had stayed outside, number 80, Alex Igo, had his block, and I think maybe he could have scored on the play, but he cuts back inside, and it's first down at the 19-yard line.
I think that's the first time they've run that counter trap play tonight. They'll send Mintz to the far side and Pate to the near side. First down for Fort Payne at the Buckhorn 18. Chadwick is your quarterback. They have Dreyer in there. Gave it to Dreyer. Dreyer busted up the middle and got about 5 yards out of it. Maybe more than that. Got it into the 12-yard line. A 6-yard gain for Dreyer. And a bus just now getting here from Buckhorn. Get it into the 12-yard line. It'll be a 6-yard gain for, about a 7-yard gain, actually, for Dreyer. With 6:28 to go, they mark him at the 12-yard line. 2nd and 2 for Fort Payne. And Chadwick's going to give the ball to Darrell. Darrell cut it inside, got to the 10, spun it inside, and got inside the 10 down to the 8. Picked up his first down. Fort Payne starting to move the ball on Buckhorn now. They have 1st and goal. They mark him at the 8-yard line. 4-yard gain there for Darrell Prater. 6:11 to go in the half. Fort Payne 7, Buckhorn 6. Fort Payne will send Pate to the far side and wide out to the near side also.
Gary Mintz.
It is Gary Mintz. And here is Kenny Chadwick. Chadwick will run it back. He gave it up the middle. Darrell. Darrell is going to get it inside the 5-yard line down to the 4. Fort Payne, nothing fancy. They just ran off to the far side and got great blocking on the left side of the line. And Darrell goes from the 8 down to the 4-yard line. A 4-yard line, 4-yard gain as the officials call a timeout for the Heat. Fort Payne threatening. We'll be back on the Wildcats Sports Network.
And Fort Payne, First State Bank, member FDIC.
Fort Payne has it at the Buckhorn 4. Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback, and Kenny Chadwick will give the ball to Darrell. Darrell's going to dive into the 1-yard line. Got it into the end zone. Darrell Prater. Darrell Prater goes 4 yards for a TD, and Fort Payne jumps out front, 13-7.
Good blocking then by the Wildcat line, led by number 57, Brian Jones.
So David Crabtree's interception set this up. Fort Payne took it 39 yards. 5 plays. Sugar will kick up the extra point. Got it up, got it in there, and it is good. With 5:32 to go in the half, Fort Payne now leads it by a score of 14-6. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Third time is charm for the Wildcats as they get the pass interception from David Crabtree and go 39 yards in 4 plays and up that lead to 14-6.
Well, up to this point, Larry, I guess you say Crabtree has our player of the game to this point.
He has a couple of turnovers, yes. Kenny Chadwick will kick it away, and they send LeBerick Williams. He'll stand down around his own goal line, almost an offsides on Fort Payne, but they got back. And a short kick is going to bounce at the 15-yard line on the ground. It's still loose, and Fort Payne has it.
That was a strange play there.
That was Anthony Thompson that picked it up after Crabtree had it in his hand and couldn't hold on, but Thompson gets it.
Kick was fumbled, and Fort Payne has it as Anthony Thompson fell on it. Fort Payne will have it at the 25-yard line. The Fort Payne will be in business again, leading it already 14-6. And they'll set their I formation with Dreyer and Prater in there. Going to give the ball, fake the reverse, and Kenny has it on his hip. He throws incomplete. He had a man down here around the 10-yard line. He also had a man deep, and Kenny threw it into the ground at the feet of Darrell Prater, and Fort Payne had a chance to get a big play there.
You know, that was just kind of an innovative play for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he had a receiver in the end zone, too. You know who that was?
That was a Cobra.
The Cobra was there.
Latch on to that one.
You know, we have a Python now on the other side.
Who is that?
Heath.
Heath is the Python?
Heath Owen is now the Python.
No, well, the Python will line up on this near side. Fort Payne 2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line of Buckhorn. And fumbled the football, and Kenny had to fall on it. So Fort Payne getting nothing out of this turnover so far. Kenny will have to fall on that one for no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 25.
You hate to see us waste a play down here this close to their goal line. So now 3rd and 10.
5 minutes to go in the half. The clock is moving. Fort Payne will send Thomas Ross to the far side, and they line the Python up at the tie. Where do you get the name Python? Tied in position on this near side. And this will be Kenny. Kenny will run his option play, rolling straight back to pass. He throws. He has Heath Owen. He's got it at 20, and he's going to be to the 15. Heath ran over a guy and got to the 10-yard line. Heath Owen caught the ball and just ran over one player, and he's left him on the ground there up around the 20-yard line, and that was E.J. Patton. And he just left him in his tracks, and the ball went from the 25 to the, what did mark it, at the 10? 15-yard gain. So the pass was complete to Heath, marking to 15. It'll be first, it's at the 10-yard line, so it'll be a 35-yard gain. They mark him at the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, just inside the 10, with 4:22 to go. Kenny is your quarterback, and Kenny's going to pitch the ball to Darrell, sweeping the far side. Needs a block, cut it at the 5, and tripped up, but it over inside the 5-yard line. Got the 4. It will be a 6-yard gallop there by Darrell Prater, and Fort Payne's knocking on the door again.
Tackle made by number 19, Dominique.
Mark him right at the 4-yard line with 4 minutes to go. Fort Payne will send Thomas Ross to the far side. Fort Payne trying to build on a 14-6 lead. They put Heath Owen on the tight end on this near side and line him up out here with Payne. Kenny may be changing the play at the line of scrimmage as he looks over that defense. Here's a 2nd and goal from the 4. Kenny will run his option play, pitch the ball to Darrell, and Darrell is going to be hemmed in and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but still fighting over there, and got into, maybe he got a yard or 2 out of it. I didn't get anything. They're going to mark him right at the 4-yard line, so he didn't get anything.
Well, you have to think they're keying on Darrell Prater now after he has received most of the carries here in the last couple of possessions for the Wildcats.
3:13 to go in this half. The clock is moving. 3rd down and goal for Fort Payne. Fort Payne does not want to have to settle for a field goal here. Like to punch this thing in and go up by 2 touchdowns. They line it up in the I formation with wideouts left and right. Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback, and Kenny's going to run his option play. Pitch it to Darrell. Darrell can walk into the end zone. A great, great pitch there from Kenny Chadwick.
And a great block by Heath Owen let him score.
Fort Payne's Darrell Prater goes 4 yards for the touchdown. Fort Payne leads it now by a score of 20-6.
Heath wouldn't allow the only guy that had a chance to tackle him to get out of the end zone, put on a great block on him. And so let's credit Heath with that one also, the Python.
You're exactly right. They go 25 yards in 4 plays. Fort Payne leads it now by a score of 20. The kick is away. The kick looks good. The kick is good. It's 21-7 now with 2:45 to go in the half. Fort Payne leads it by it's 21-6. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Down for the Wildcats. Roger took advantage of a turnover.
Absolutely, and that's something we've been giving up a lot of. So for a change, it's great to see us taking advantage of a turnover.
Fort Payne leads it 21-7, and Kenny Chadwick got his kick away, and it's going to be caught this time down around the 10-yard line. Back up the middle of the 15, got outside, and it's going to be snowed under as he got across the 25 up to the 20. Well, they mark him right at the 25.
Gary Metz brought him down along with 17, Clay Dobbs.
Fort Payne leads it 21-6 in a game that they really have to have.
It's a homecoming.
Homecoming, all the grads are back here tonight.
Yeah, that's always nice to see.
2:38 to go in the half. 21-6 is your score, and the quarterback under is Watson, the I formation. Now here's a flag as they threw a flag. The official on this near side threw the flag. And what's the flag?
Here we go, getting a signal.
Illegal substitution against Fort Payne. That's about the 3rd time this year we've been called for that. So Fort Payne will be penalized 5 yards. Mark him up to the 30-yard line.
You know what homecoming means, Larry?
What?
All the female grads come back looking as pretty as ever, and the male grads come back bald.
Yeah. Why you look at me when you say that?
Something gave it away.
They'll send Robinson off to the far side. I don't think I would watch him if I were the coaching staff of Fort Payne with only 2:38 to go in the half. And Watson will be changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Watson will pitch the ball to the near side to Williams. Williams got outside and got out to the 34 as he dove in there. Somebody knocked his feet out from under him, but he was able to dive on up to the 30 and maybe picked up his first down, and he did.
I think it was his own man, number 40, Jeff Chapman, that actually made the tackle.
Well, he's a yard short, they say. Only picked up 4 yards. They mark it back to the 34, so the clock will continue to run. 2:18 to go, and the clock is very much a factor now, but they have big play capabilities, and Williams is one of those backs. He's lined up at the tailback position, and Robinson will come to this near side. Watson will be facing 3rd down in the yard. Fort Payne jumps the linebacker up there. They pitch it to Williams. Williams trying to get outside, got his first down, and got across the 35 up to the 39 with 1:53 to go.
Williams, to me, appears to be running differently than he did the first of the game. Now he's leaning forward. He seems to be stumbling, actually, from the minute he touches the ball.
Give it to the 39. It'll be first down for Buckhorn, but 1:53 is all that's left in this first half. Fort Payne leads it 21-7. And to the far side, he said Heath Owen made that tackle. Yeah, he's in there playing some defense now. So they'll send wideouts left and right, will Buckhorn, with 1:40 to go. Watson is your quarterback, and Watson's going to roll back to pass. He's going to throw the ball down this near side to Robinson, being pressured now, and Heath Owens is after him, and Heath Owens is going to, well, he got away from Heath, got up to the near midfield, but is short of the first down. Heath tracked him down from that far side and forced him out of the pocket, and he picked up about 9 yards, but the clock will continue to run until just now when Buckhorn calls a timeout. Well, they didn't call a timeout. They're going to bring the chains across for the measurement. But Watson wanted to go to Robinson, and Fort Payne did a great job of covering him up. And Fort Payne, somebody must have called a timeout. Yep, Buckhorn called a timeout. So we'll be back with the score of Fort Payne 21, Buckhorn 6, back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Short of the first down by a half a yard, so we're going to have to give Watson a 9-yard run on that. They mark it up to the 49-yard line, still in Buckhorn territory with 1:19 to go. The Bucks have called their first timeout. They have 2 left, I think. Fort Payne is in that prevent defense as Crabtree and Thompson are deep, about 20 yards deep. Fort Payne also drops Kenny Chadwick back there. Fort Payne leads it 21-6. Officials are ready to start the clock. It'll be second down and a foot when they do. Well, they won't start the clock until the ball is snapped because Buckhorn called a timeout. Watson is already to the line of scrimmage. They did start the clock, even though Buckhorn called a timeout. Going to pitch the ball to Williams, and Williams is going to try to get outside. Got his first down, got across the 50 to the 48, picked up a first down, and got it across for about a 3-yard gain. The clock is at 1:11 now. Buckhorn still has a couple of timeouts left. They'll start the clock back as soon as the officials get this ball marked, and the clock is now running. And Watson is to the line of scrimmage. But there's still some confusion. They bring Brandon Robinson to this near side, and now flag there. And dead ball, illegal substitution against Buckhorn.
Well, that evens that category up at 1 apiece since the Wildcats had won their last possession.
Penalize them back to the 47-yard line with 1:04 to go. The Bucks now are to the line of scrimmage, and the clock is moving. The quarterback is Watson, and Fort Payne backs their defense up. They throw a little short pass out to across the 50 to the 45, and Nail knocked him out of bounds in the wild down around the 42-yard line of Fort Payne.
I believe he was trying to walk Steph out of bounds when Nail came along and hit him. Kind of a good thing we didn't get a flag on that play. It was close.
Pass was good for, well, he had a 7. Pass was good for 7. They had a penalty on that for that. At the 42-yard line, it'll be second down. The clock is moving. Well, the clock is stopped. Out of bounds play. Watson rolls the pass. Throws a little short pass complete to the 35, and he's trying to get out of bounds, and he did get out of bounds at the Wildcat 35. So that pass was complete from the 7-yard gain, another 7-yard gain down to the 35 with 45 seconds to go in the half. They're marching right down the field. Fort Payne needs to snuff this drive out. At the 35, Buckhorn will have it first down with 45.2 seconds to go. You know they're going to throw the ball to this big Brandon Robinson sooner or later. Fort Payne has Darrell Prater in there out here right up on him man-to-man. Fort Payne brings their linebacker, Dreyer. They run the draw play. The ball's on the ground, and they go get it. Fort Payne shot Jonathan Dreyer, and Jonathan overran the play but forced the fumble, and Buckhorn calls the timeout.
I think they're actually trying one of those little whoopee passes. The quarterback was dropping back.
I think they tried to run a draw to Williams.
Well, I don't know which is right. I'll stick with the whoopee, and you can go with the draw.
At any rate, the ball is back at the 41, so it'll be a 6-yard gain. So we'll take a break with 37 seconds to go back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Needs to come up with a big defensive play. You don't need to give Buckhorn the momentum going into the second half. Get a score here. Fort Payne has in that defensive position over there a new player, Josh McDaniel, 5'11", 147-pound sophomore, in there to rush the quarterback as they think Buckhorn's going to throw the ball from the 42-yard line. Watson will roll straight back to pass, fakes it, throws it, and it's going to be complete and dancing down the sideline out of bounds at the 32. Picked up 10 yards on the play, but well short of the first down with 31 seconds to go.
Once again, the quarterback pays for that pass, though, as he's knocked to the ground immediately after releasing the ball.
He actually picked up 10 yards. Third down, but the clock is the factor now. 31.3 seconds to go in the half. Fort Payne leads it 21-6. Wildcats are giving them that little short out, and they're trying to, but you know Buckhorn's got to throw the ball to Robinson sooner or later. They split him out to this near side, and Fort Payne puts a couple of midgets out here to guard him. Back to pass. Watson is being pressured, and down he goes in the backfield. Fort Payne flew a linebacker in there, and Buckhorn burns their last timeout with 23 seconds to go. Flag down. Check that flag.
That was Hardinger that made the tackle.
Check that flag. No, disregard the flag, he said.
Boy, that was a great job by Zane. He had about 3 different guys trying to keep him from getting to the quarterback, and they couldn't hold him back, and he drove the quarterback to the ground.
Fort Payne, Buckhorn calls their last timeout. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Payne 21, Buckhorn 6, with 23.3 seconds to go in the half. Buckhorn faces 4th down and 15 from the Wildcat, just inside the 40-yard line. Big play for the Wildcat defense. They send Robinson out to this near side. They also put a slot man out here. Quarterback is Watson. Watson will roll straight back to pass. Looking for Robinson. He throws it long down this near side for Robinson. The ball's in the air. Incomplete. Good job by Fort Payne as they had Kenny Chadwick down there to knock it away, but they had Chadwick and Thompson had him sandwiched, and Fort Payne will get the football.
I think Kenny could have intercepted it, but thinking very smartly, he just knocks it down. And the Wildcats will get the ball around the 42-yard line, their own 42, and they're going to mark it no at the 40.
Mark it. See if Fort Payne runs one play, or maybe throw the ball deep. Let's see. You got 16 seconds to go. Might catch Buckhorn napping. Fort Payne will send Alex Igo to the near side. Quarterback under is Kenny Chadwick. And Kenny will just pitch the ball to Darrell Prater. Darrell is going to sweep the near side, looking for a block, cut it into 40, 45, up to the 50-yard line, just short of the 50 with 8 seconds to go. Fort Payne going to let the clock run out. Fort Payne will let the clock run out, and the Wildcats lead it at halftime by a score of 21-6. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Payne and 5. Buy 4 new Bridgestone Bueller AT or MT tires with Unity and get a Magellan Satellite Navigator. That's $167 value, free now through October 31st. The Magellan Blazer 12 is a lightweight, rugged locator that offers advanced digital global positioning for the Explorer and you. Get those Unity tires at Fort Bridgestone dealer, Fort Payne and 5, Westmoreland Tire. See a movie tonight or this afternoon or in the morning, whenever it's convenient for you. Stop at Video Plaza, 2207H, Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. There's a movie for everyone, young and old, from adventure to the classics and children's movies. This week's new arrivals include My Giant, City of Angels, Mercury Rising. Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis game systems and games are also available at Video Plaza, 2207H, Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. Open 7 days a week for your convenience, and they now have more copies of new releases.
The Alabama Band Fan Club at the South Y in Fort Payne is happy to bring you Wildcat Sports. Our youth are tomorrow's leaders. Randy, Teddy, Mark, and Jeff would also like to introduce their new 41 Hits album with 3 new songs. You'll get all their 41 #1 hits plus 3 new songs on CD, cassette, or LP. It brings back memories of yesterday. Stop by the Alabama Band Fan Club at the South Y in Fort Payne for other gifts and souvenirs.
Treat the family to a great meal at Burger King, Highway 35 West in Fort Payne. For a limited time, enjoy a big, tasty Big King at the amazing deal of buy one, get one free. That's right, the Big King. Buy one, get one free. Burger King, Highway 35 West in Fort Payne. Open Monday through Thursday from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. Sunday, 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. Burger King, it just tastes better.
Back once again at Wildcat Stadium, where the Wildcats lead Buckhorn by a 21-6 score. We're honored to have here at halftime tonight Mr. Tom Brown, also Mr. Kirk Nee. Both of these gentlemen playing professional football. Mr. Brown also played baseball professionally. First to you, Mr. Brown. Well, nice to have you both with us.
Thank you.
And, of course, both of you in town for tomorrow's Alabama Celebrity Softball game.
That's correct.
Back to you, Mr. Brown again. Played for Vince Lombardi at Green Bay.
Yes, I played in the first 2 Super Bowls with him. I played from 1964 to 69.
I'm sure that was quite an honor to play with one of the most legendary football coaches ever.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I really enjoyed it. It was a great experience.
Of course, in this area of the country, we think we have one of our own in Bear Bryant, so...
I know, they were on the same stamp, right?
Absolutely. I think there was a couple other guys on that also. Mr. Neat, Washington Redskins, and certainly Jack Cook Kent. I guess you were employed by Mr. Kent?
Mr. Cook, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Cook, I'm sorry.
I was there for 25 years and had the opportunity to play or coach and scout with 7 coaches, starting from Joe Gibbs on back to George Allen and Jack Pardee, and actually Lombardi hired me, but I never got to really work for him because he died before. But so I was fortunate enough to be involved with 4 Super Bowls. We won 3. So.
I guess you were around the days when Mr. Theismann had his leg-breaking incident.
That's right, and he's one of the most energetic, enthusiastic players we've ever had. And but anyway, Brant Craig and the invite us down here for the Big Oak Ranch, raising money for them through this Alabama Celebrity Softball game at Fort Payne Sports Complex tomorrow. So we're here to kind of plug that.
Well, hopefully we'll have a big turnout. In the past, we've always had a large turnout for the game. And as you said, it benefits the Big Oak Ranch, which is founder John Kroll, as you said, played at the University of Alabama. And we mentioned Bear Bryant. I guess Coach Bryant kind of got him started in the business.
Well, we were up there today, and what a complex that is, that Big Oak Ranch. I mean, anybody that doesn't walk away with being impressed for the work John's doing doesn't know what they're doing. What a fantastic job he's done up there.
And, you know, the one thing about it, he gave up some things that he could have had in his future to do this. It's not like, you know, this was a last resort for him.
Well, I think it was his calling, though. I mean, he really felt this is what he wanted to do in life, and he's done a remarkable job.
Absolutely. Well, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, I know Alabama will be playing some of the local sponsors. Then at 7 p.m., I think you'll be playing the celebrities. So I guess you guys will be playing in the 7 o'clock game.
Yeah, we better go home and get our rest, right?
According to where you're staying, how much rest you're going to get tonight. Of course, this year it's a little bit different. In the past, the June Jam, or the Alabama softball game, has always been held in connection with the June Jam. And I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but the field in front of us out here is where the June Jam concert itself was held for, what, 15 years. And anywhere from 40 to 70,000 people would fill it every year. And we had these week-long of activities of which the softball game was part of.
Yeah, in fact, I heard a lot about it. I was never down here to see the June Jam, but I saw a picture of it today down at the museum, Alabama, and it was really quite impressive.
Right. We've had numerous people come from pro football and baseball ranks. George Teague, who stayed with Green Bay for I think he was there for a season or two, came
been
down.
all over, though, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah, he's bouncing around good. And I'm sure we've had some Redskins down in the past also.
Well, we have. The thing I want to try to emphasize is make sure we invite all the people listening, the audience, that the first game starts at 5 o'clock, and the celebrities and people are going to be also giving autographs for anybody who wants to be part of that end of it. And again, all the money is going to go to the Big Oak Ranch, and John Kroll, which is Mr. Brown said, was very impressive and heartwarming to see that there's people out there doing such wonderful work in the community, and especially for those kids.
And I understand both of you brought a couple of items you're going to have on display tomorrow.
Yes, we both are fortunate to have Super Bowl rings, and the people who come are able to take pictures and look at them and enjoy them like we did.
Yeah, I see you have one on right now. From what year is that one?
This was 91 when we played Buffalo in Minnesota.
So and you have a couple also.
Well, yeah, I have 2 Super Bowl rings and a championship ring. Right. First 2 Super Bowls.
Right. Then your baseball days, you said we were the Washington Senators also, right?
Yeah, and I love baseball more so than I did football. But if I hadn't gotten drafted by the Green Bay Packers, I think I would have been still playing baseball. But it was a lifelong ambition to play baseball, and I really enjoyed it. But the pitchers are the one who said, maybe you ought to go play football.
Well, will baseball ever go back to Washington, or is Baltimore too close?
I think Baltimore is too close. At some time they used to talk about getting a minor league team in there, but I don't think they'll ever get it back there.
And got to ask you, what do you think about the McGuire and the Sammy Sosa run?
Great for baseball. Absolutely fantastic. Did they get a home run tonight? Do we know?
Haven't heard tonight. My luck, when McGuire was in Atlanta, I went over and he went 0 for 11. So that's my luck.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That's the way. And I want to get up to Baltimore at some point and see their new stadium and watch those guys play.
Oh, that Camden Yard's a great place.
That's what I understand.
I was fortunate to be there for a game this year, and it is something else. Wonderful.
Also a class act up there with the string finally being broken.
Oh, it was wonderful, the way he handled it.
Absolutely, a class gentleman. Well, we've enjoyed having you both with us. Once again, they're going to both be here tomorrow night at the Fort Payne Sports Complex for the Alabama Celebrity Softball game. Games at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Autographs will be going on. So we hope everybody will come out and support John Kroll and the Big Oak Ranch.
Okay, hope so. And we really enjoyed our stay here in Fort Payne.
Glad to have you.
Community.
Glad to have you, and thanks for coming up and speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Stop at Video Plaza, 2207H, Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. There's a movie for everyone, young and old, from adventure to the classics and children's movies. This week's new arrivals include My Giant, City of Angels, Mercury Rising. Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis game systems and games are also available at Video Plaza, 2207H, Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. Open 7 days a week for your convenience, and they now have more copies of new releases.
The Alabama Band Fan Club at the South Y in Fort Payne is happy to bring you Wildcat Sports. Our youth are tomorrow's leaders. Randy, Teddy, Mark, and Jeff would also like to introduce their new 41 Hits album with 3 new songs.
And once again, we have just seen the crowning of the homecoming queen. It's homecoming here on the campus of Fort Payne High School. Lily Odell, the homecoming queen this year. Nice halftime. We had the band perform their halftime show, really pregame. We have that. Once again, we're at halftime here at Wildcat Stadium. Your halftime score, the Fort Payne Wildcats 21, the Buckhorn Bucks 6. We'll be back with more halftime comments. This is the Wildcat Sports Network.
Treat the family.
1-6, so good news for Fort Payne. Ronnie, you want to run through some of those stats?
Yeah, we have some halftime stats here. First, let's take a look at the visiting Bucks from Buckhorn. Their leading ground gainer, number 12, LeBerick Williams, 12 carries. Williams over 100 yards at 104, about an 8-yard average per carry. And also in passing department for the Bucks, Jeff Watson, 4 of 6 for 38 yards and 1 touchdown. That's a 14-yard pickup, a touchdown by number 23, Brandon Robinson. Total yardage on the ground for the Bucks, 91 and 38 through the air. Total offense for the Buckhorn Bucks at halftime, 129. Now for the Fort Payne Wildcats, the leading ground gainer once again is number 1, Darrell Prater. Prater on 12 carries, 69 yards. Kenny Chadwick picking up 10 yards on 4 carries, and Jonathan Dreyer, 3 carries at 11 yards, 87 yards on the ground. Passing department, Kenny Chadwick, just 1 completion on only 2 attempts for 15 yards. Total offense for the Wildcats, 102. And as Larry said, your halftime score, it's lopsided. To look at the stats, you wouldn't think so, but it's 21-6 Fort Payne over Buckhorn.
Buckhorn with the big turnovers at Fort Payne turned one of them into a point. The other 2 put Buckhorn in bad field position, but Fort Payne leads it by a score of 21-6 at halftime. Let's take our final pause as we get ready for the kickoff. The second half kickoff. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network with Fort Payne leading it at halftime by a score of 21-6.
See a movie tonight.
Homecoming on the campus of Fort Payne High School, and all the grads are back here. Fort Payne leading it by a score of 21-6 in a game, the must-win game for Fort Payne. Fort Payne has already, we mentioned earlier, already lost 1 game in area play. Buckhorn's already lost a game in area play. So this is a key game for both these teams. A loss would all but eliminate a team from playoff contention. And for the second week in a row, Fort Payne has been out here on time. The opponent has not been here. And for the second week in a row, for some reason, the officials have put 3 minutes back on the clock. So I guess we're just being nice to our visitors.
You know, Fort Payne is in the largest area now in the state of Alabama.
Yeah. We were talking to somebody.
Largest area.
Talking to somebody the other day, and it's going to be it is a rough area in football, but can you imagine basketball with us having to compete against the likes of Buckhorn and Johnson? I mean, it's going to be tough. The Buckhorn Bucks last year, Fort Payne played them. Of course, Fort Payne should have an outstanding basketball team, but man, Johnson and Buckhorn,
they're a little bit different, though, isn't it? A little bit different in football and basketball?
I think it's the same in basketball, but I think it changed for baseball.
I thought Albertville might be back in basketball. I'm not sure.
They should be. Now Buckhorn across the way has just now come back on the field. So let's go ahead and take our final break. We're still a couple of minutes away from the start of this second half. So we'll take our final break as we get ready for the second half kickoff with Fort Payne leading at halftime by a score of 21-6.
To introduce their new 41 Hits album with 3 new songs. You'll get all their 41 #1 hits plus 3 new songs on CD, cassette, or LP. It brings back memories of yesterday. Stop by the Alabama Band Fan Club at the South Y in Fort Payne for other gifts and souvenirs.
Not only is Fort Payne leading it by a score of 21-6, but the Wildcats will get the football as we start this second half. Fort Payne won that opening coin toss. They deferred their choice to the second half. So the Wildcats naturally want the football with Darrell Prater standing back on the 5-yard line to take this kick. So Fort Payne would like to come out here and maybe put one quick touchdown on the board and might put this team away, Raj.
Exactly what I was going to say, Larry. You'd have to think that might be the points that would lock this game up for the Wildcats, although you never say never.
Well, you can if you want to.
Well, yeah, that's okay. I just thought.
You don't want to say never.
Whatever.
Michael Brooks will kick it away for the Buckhorn Bucks. Darrell Prater on the near side.
Kicking off to start this second
Alex Igo on that far side. David Crabtree on the near side. Second half is about to get underway.
For the Wildcats, Anthony Thompson.
Squib kick that's going to be caught by the up man there. Nail's going to get up to the 25, got to the 30, and it's going to be hammered down, and looked like they might have grabbed him by the headgear and jerked him down, but no flag. Good job there as Nathan Nail just snagged that ball and got it up to the 30. The Fort Payne will start at the 31-yard line, start this second half, leading it by a score of 21-6.
And you're right, Larry.
What'd that say? Here will go Thomas Ross to the far side and Alex Igo to the near side. The tight end Heath Owen is lined up on this near side. Quarterback under is Kenny Chadwick, going to run Darrell Prater. Darrell's going to be across the 35, up to the 37, 38, 39-yard line. Darrell goes for 7 yards on his first carry of the second half. How many yards did he have the first half there running?
First half, 69, so he's at 76 now on 13 carries. So we may be well on the way of having another 100-yard game out of Darrell.
Kenny Chadwick has directed this offense beautifully tonight, and Kenny will run that counter play to Darrell. Darrell got outside, got to the 40, and trying to get by a player, couldn't do it. If he'd have got by that one player, he could have got his first down, but he's going to be about a half a yard short.
Fred Adams brought him down.
Fred Adams is in there playing. That means 25 is Fred Adams is in playing defense.
He sure is.
We'll probably see him at the second half then. Darrell gained 2 yards on that play. It's going to be third down and less than a yard for Fort Payne. They need to get this first down and keep this opening drive alive. Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback. He has Jonathan Dreyer in there at fullback, and Jonathan Dreyer, though Kenny kept himself, got his first down across the 40 to the 42. Kenny put the ball in the gut of Jonathan Dreyer and then pulled it away and dove it across the 40 for the first down.
Dominic Herford again making the tackle. That's his second tackle of the game.
The Fort Payne has done what they wanted to do. They've driven it for 1 first down. Would like to keep this ball, chew some time off the clock, drive it right down the field, get a touchdown out of it. They lead it 21-6. They'll send Mintz to the far side of the field and Pate to the near side. And now they send Pate back in motion to the far side of the field, away from the football, pitch the ball to Darrell, trying to get outside, got to the 40, cut it up to the 45, got outside to the 50, down to the 48-yard line. Darrell Prater may have gotten the first down.
Yeah, I think they're going to mark him just a little bit shy of the first down. But a good run for Darrell, and the Wildcats are really going to Darrell now, as they did the last couple of drives in the first half.
Heath Owen was out there throwing a block, and I think they also, Fort Payne also had Rory Jones to throw a good block in there. It'll be second down and a yard for Fort Payne from the 49-yard line of Buckhorn. 9:56 to go in the second half. Second down and a yard for the Wildcats. Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback, and Kenny will give it up the middle of Darrell, and Darrell's going to get 5 yards, 10 yards to the 40. He may go. He's at the 30, 25, 20. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown. Darrell Prater goes 49 yards for the touchdown. That's a big touchdown.
B.J. Patton had a chance to make the tackle at the 27, could not bring Darrell down, and it was all over at that point. Touchdown, Fort Payne.
Fort Payne goes 69 yards, and Darrell goes 49 yards for the touchdown. And Fort Payne went 69 yards in 5 plays, with Darrell going the last 49. Jonathan Sugar will try to kick up the extra point.
Holding will be number 10.
The snap is there. The kick is away. The kick is good. 9:39 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne now leads it by a score of 28-6. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
A limited time, enjoy a big, tasty Big King at the amazing deal of buy one, get one free. That's right, the Big King. Buy one, get one free. Burger King, Highway 35 West in Fort Payne, open Monday through Thursday from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m., Sunday 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. Burger King, it just tastes better.
Right, that run put Darrell Prater over 100 yards.
Darrell, 16 carries, 135 yards on the night, better than 8 yards per carry average.
Came in averaging 6.7 yards per carry. Big touchdown. Fort Payne leads it 28-6 now with 9:39 to go in this third quarter. The kick is long, and it's going to be caught with his on the knee down there. He caught it on his knee down around the 15-yard line.
And did you see that wedge that was forming?
Yep. Buckhorn will get it. They mark it at the 12. So that's another big break for Fort Payne. As he caught the ball down on his knee, in pro football, you can get up and move, but you can't do that in high school, can you, Raj?
No, you can't.
They'll mark him at the 12. Fort Payne's defense needs to stop him here, get the ball back, and maybe can build on this big 28-6 lead.
Speaking of the bald-headed grads,
yep,
there's Michael Griggs.
Michael Griggs here. Watson is your quarterback. Watson's going to run it up the middle. Gave it to the fullback on a penalty play. Broke it to the clear at the 25, up to the 30-yard line. But check the flag. Flag on the far side. But that was the Derek Williams, and he went from the 12 to the 30. But let's check this flag across the way. Flag is... I think they're going to take it back.
Last tackle made by number 3, David Crabtree.
I don't think they are going to. Yeah, they're talking to Fort Payne, so they're going to take them back. That's a big penalty. Illegal motion against Buckhorn will penalize them from the 12 back to the 7. So that's a big penalty. To the 7-yard line is where they'll mark it down. And so instead of having it on the 30 there, Roger, Buckhorn will be backed all the way up to their 7.
Illegal motion against
Well, it seems like they're going backwards instead of forwards, and that's been familiar to us the last few weeks.
Yeah, making those big mistakes. And the mistakes tonight have been made by the Buckhorn Bucks. They're a very young team. We'll see a lot of these players next year. Watson is your quarterback. Gives it to Williams, and Williams is going to try to get outside. Got outside. Got to the 20-yard line and almost to the 20. Got his legs chopped out from under him before he got to the 20, but he got to the 18.
Clay Dobbs is in there playing also, Larry, and he was in on that tackle.
made by number 4, Anthony Thompson.
It'll be from the 7 up to the 10-yard gain on that play by Williams.
Also give Anthony Thompson a little credit.
Anthony, I think, was one of the ones who knocked his feet out from under him. 2nd down and 4 following that penalty for the Buckhorn Bucks. Watson is your quarterback. They have the straight eye in the backfield behind him. Going to give it to Williams again. Williams got outside, found a big hole, broke it outside to the 25, to the 30, 35, down that far sideline, and David Crabtree horse collared him and threw him down as he got to the 40, and Fort Payne will send substitutions into the game. Fort Buckhorn has moved this ball from their own 7 out to the 40. That was another 13-yard gallop by Williams.
Well, Buckhorn still has not given up in this game. They're still trying their hardest.
Fort Payne sent Rory Jones and Dustin Hill back in the game, trying to shore up that offensive front. Watson is your quarterback, and Watson looks over the Fort Payne defense, maybe changing the play at the line of scrimmage. They have Big Robinson on the far side, and back to pass. They'll throw the ball to Robinson. Lobs it up in the air. He's got it at 35, at the 20, and he may go all the way. Nail got him down at the 15. Nathan Nail ran him down, but he got it all the way down to the 15-yard line, and nothing fancy about that play. They just lobbed it up there to Brandon Robinson, and he caught it and went from his own 40 down to the Wildcat 16.
No, he's really an imposing-looking figure as he runs down that sideline, Larry. Of course, it helped him that he was wide open. Nobody was around him.
Yep. 45-yard gain on that play. They'll mark him at the 44-yard gain. They mark him at the 16-yard line. So here is Buckhorn trying to get right back in this game. Watson, your quarterback. Watson will give it up the middle, and that's Williams. Williams got outside, got about 5 yards down to the 10. And they're going to give him a 6-yard gain. They mark it right on the 10. Williams has done all the work on this except for that one long pass completion that was good to Brandon Robinson.
Good for 6 yards.
Jonathan Dreyer made the tackle.
7:45 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne leads it 28-6. The Buckhorn trying to come back as they send Robinson to the far side. They line Williams up at the tailback position. Watson, your quarterback, going to pitch the ball to Williams, coming to this near side. Cut it back in, got to the 10, and got chopped down as he got across the 10 into the 8. It'll be third down in a yard or two.
Darryl Prater's the one that did the chopping.
Third down in 1 yard.
Number 1, Darryl Prater.
And mark him at the 7. Gained 3 yards on the play. Third down in a yard for Fort Payne with 7:06 to go. They line up in the wishbone set, but I would imagine Mr. Williams is going to get the football. Tight end, double tight end. They give it to Williams, and Williams is going to tiptoe. I don't know if he got it or not. LeDerick Williams got the ball.
That was Fred Adams on the first carry of the night.
Was it Adams? Or Adams, yeah. Adams, their big ball carrier, was in there on that play. And I don't know if he got it or not. That's his first carry of the night. Adams is a 5'11", 185-pound senior. They're going to bring the chains in to measure. 6:45 to go. And Rod, you think he made it?
I'm going to say short.
Looks like he may be a little short. Bring the chains all the way across from the other side. Stretch him out. He is the length of a football short.
It's short of the first.
Be fourth down.
Be fourth down for the Bucks.
Buckhorn needs to get a half a yard.
Fourth down for Buckhorn.
So here come the Bucks up to the line of scrimmage. They go that wishbone set again. The quarterback is Watson. They have both tight ends in there. They give it to Williams, and Williams is going to have his first down this time as he got it across the 5 down to the 4 for a first down. That was Williams on the carry. He picked up 2 yards and got it to the 4. Buckhorn threatening with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. It's a 28-6 game in favor of Fort Payne. First and goal at the 4-yard line for the Buckhorn Bucks. They've already run 7 plays. They stick to that wishbone set, go to the double tight end formation. Going to run right at Fort Payne. And it's going to be Williams. Williams is going to cut it back in. It's a 5 touchdown as he got it into the end zone. Darryl Prater hit him, but he got into the end zone.
That was a real time-consuming drive.
Good for 4
Yep,
yards.
they went to their own 12. 88 yards they drove on Fort Payne. They did it in 8 plays.
You know, one thing, Larry, Fort Payne was playing a lot of young players that time on defense. And for one of the few times this year, really, there was not a whole lot of pressure on the defense with this lead.
Buckhorn's, I think, going to go for 2. Yeah, they're going to go for 2 as Watson is still in there, and Watson is a player short. May have to burn a timeout here, and they do. Buckhorn calls timeout. 6:17 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne leads it 28-12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Coach Steve Mass called this timeout as there was little confusion. They didn't have enough players or didn't have the right people that they wanted in there to go for this 2-point conversion. So he called the timeout. Now they're about ready to set. As across the way, they break the huddle and come back out on the field to go for the 2-point conversion. They're going to line it up in the I set, and they put Robinson out to this near side. Darryl Prater is there to guard him. They have a single back in the backfield. Single back in the backfield. They spread it out with only one back in the backfield. Watson's going to pitch the ball to Williams going the far side. He's going to cut it in and didn't get it. Fort Payne came up there and knocked him down as the Wildcats have stopped the 2-point conversion. With 6:17 to go in the third quarter, Fort Payne leads it by a score of 28-12. We'll be back on Wildcat Sports Network. Great job on that 2-point conversion.
Absolutely. Heath Owen finally made the tackle that stopped it, but a good job. And it also gave the Wildcats an opportunity to play some young players on defense. Even though they scored, it gave some experience to our guys.
Fort Payne needs to answer now, leading it 28-12. Kicked it away. Squibbed it again. It's going to be bouncing on that far side, and Fort Payne dove on it over there. and it'll be at the 28-yard line. And that was Hickson who fell on it at the 28.
Recovered by number 23.
Fort Payne will have it at their 28-yard line with 6:17 to go in this third quarter, leading it by a score of 28-12. Yep, don't need to give it right back to him now. Need to at least drive it down the field.
Right, kill a little time here.
Get a couple of first downs, even if you don't score. Get a couple of first downs. Buckhorn's got to get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie the Wildcats. The eye set for Kenny Chadwick, and Chadwick's going to run Darrell Prater. Darrell got across the 30, got to the 35, broke it. 40, 45, 50. Goes Darrell Prater, tackled behind at the 50-yard line. He goes from the 28 to the 50. 22-yard run for Darrell Prater. So Darrell goes for 21 yard it is, and they mark it at the 49. And that's a big run for Darrell Prater. He's going to get close to 200 yards if you don't watch it.
And he's getting most of those tonight up the middle versus going outside, too.
Got to give that offensive line a lot of credit there. Bo Wilson, Brian Jones, Rory Jones, Zane Hardinger, and Dustin Hill in there, along with Heath Owens, the tight end. First down from the 48-yard line and going to roll back the pass. And he throws the ball. He has a man down the middle. He throws it. It is going to be complete to Thomas Ross on a penalty play. Thomas goes to the 15-yard line.
The Cobra made a great grab, and I think they're even going to call interference, so that even makes it better.
The Cobra has struck like lightning. Just when you least expect it, that Cobra will come up there and bite you, won't he, Raj?
Oh, yeah, he'll do it.
That Fort Payne is going to decline the penalty, and it'll be completed all the way down to the 13-yard line. 32-yard pass completion as the officials will call timeout for the Heat. 5:42 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne leads it 28-12. We'll be back. The Wildcat Sports Network.
41 Hits album with 3 new songs. You'll get all their 41 #1 hits plus.
Fort Payne at the 13-yard line, and after that big long 36-yard pass, Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback. Ran his option play, pitched the ball to Darrell. Darrell's trying to get outside, cut it back into 15, got to the 10, drove inside to the 9-yard line. 4 yards from Darrell Prater down to the 9-yard line with 5:15 to go.
Kind of a dangerous pitch out there. Of course, Kenny's done that 4 or 5 times so far tonight, and it seems to be working.
They'll mark it inside. They just goes inside the 9-yard line. So a 4-yard gain for Darrell. 2-yard gain, they say, across the way. So it will be second down for the Wildcats. Kenny Chadwick is in there at quarterback, and Chadwick will give it again to Darrell on the pitch, and he got hit down behind the line of scrimmage back at the 13. They sent a linebacker and knocked Darrell down behind the line of scrimmage back around the line of scrimmage. They'll mark it back at, he'll lose 2 on that play. It'll be third down and 10 for the Wildcats. A 4:27 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne with a 28-12 lead. A touchdown here might just solve this thing away. We said that a little while ago, and then Buckhorn marched right down the field. Third down possession play for the Wildcats. The I formation. Back to pass will be Chadwick. Throws the ball down the middle. He throw it incomplete. He was forced to throw the ball a little early. They shot a linebacker and knocked him down, and he threw the ball a little early. If he'd have had another second or two to get his feet set, I think he would have completed that pass, Roger.
Well, Heath also kind of hesitated there for a minute, and that might have been in conjunction with Kenny being rushed while that pass was not completed. It looked like it was going to work.
Fort Payne will line up for the field goal. This would be an important field goal. This would force Buckhorn to score 3 times if they could get this one. It would be from the 18 to 28-yard field goal. This will be Jonathan Sugar to try this one. So Jonathan Sugar will try to kick the 28-yard field goal. Snap is good. The kick is away. The kick is long enough. The kick is good. 3:56 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne now leads it by a score of 32-12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Obviously, if you were counting, the score is 31-12, not 32-12, but that's the big field goal. Jonathan Sugar. Now Buckhorn's got to score 3 times to beat you. 3:56 to go in the third quarter, and Kenny Chadwick got his foot into it and knocked it deep. Back to the 1-yard line will be caught down there by Williams. Williams straight up the middle behind the wedge. He's going to be up to the 20, 25, and oh, down he goes. He didn't get to the 25. Big pile of players there, and he was one of them in that pile that was down rather than in a pile that was moving forward.
All the Buckhorn players up around the 50, and they kind of forgot to block, so the Fort Payne players, I think, kind of went out and came around the backside.
Put him right on the 20-yard line as Corey Hickson knocked him down. So we just need to stop Buckhorn here, get the ball back, and we need to beat them bad, don't we?
Well, let's show mercy.
No, we need to get some confidence and just thrash them good as we get ready to go over to Scottsboro next week. Here will be Buckhorn to the line of scrimmage. Watson is still the quarterback, and Williams is your tailback. He's going to roll back to pass. Looking for the big man down that far sideline. He hit and knocked down. Just as he started to throw the ball, somebody came in there and knocked him down. I don't know how he held on to the football. But somebody hit him. It was Dreyer. No, that was Gary Wright, I think.
Gary Wright. Yes, it was Wright.
Watson will lose from the 20 back to the 15, a 5-yard loss. 7 yards on the play. Back at the 14, so a big play there by Gary Wright. He knocked him down 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 17. We're probably going to give the ball back to Williams now, see if he can pick up some of this yardage. And this will be Williams, and Williams up the middle, darts it back inside, and it's going to be hit and knocked down right around the line of scrimmage, got a yard out of it.
Boy, isn't it fun to watch Dreyer make a tackle, the way he drives them back.
Talking to some of the folks at halftime who are seeing Fort Payne for the first time, and they just couldn't believe what a hard hitter he was. Picked up a yard to the 15. 3rd down and long now for Buckhorn. They've got to get it across the 30 for the first down with 2:42 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne with a big 31-12 lead. And Fort Payne will send in Darrell Prater deep. And they'll send Big Robinson to the far side. I'd look for him, and now what's the call? Flag down.
Flag on the play.
Illegal substitution again.
Is it against Fort Payne?
Buckhorn.
Against the Buck.
Now Fort Payne will put Kenny Chadwick in. Buckhorn will be penalized 5, back to the 10. Now they still got to get about a 21 yards for the first down. The Buckhorn Bucks have got to get. Fort Payne will be at Scottsboro next week, then at Hazel Green, then at Gunnersville. So we're on the road for 4 straight weeks. Then at Johnson. 3rd down and long for the quarterback. He's going to roll back to pass. He's looking, being flushed out of the pocket, going to run the ball. He's at the 15, the 20, the 25, and it's going to be down he goes. Darrell Prater got it this time at the 25, 5 yards short of the first down. Darrell Prater just came up and introduced himself to Jeff Watson. Watson went from the 10 to the 25, a 15-yard gain, but he paid for that. It'll be 4th down and 5, and Buckhorn will kick it away. Mr. Prater can deliver a lick, too.
That was Dryeristic, wasn't it?
Certainly was. Clock favors Fort Payne now. 1:30 to go. And the punter, Marcus Wright, takes off his helmet, wipes his brow, now puts his helmet back on. He's ready to kick it away. The snap is, they're going to throw the ball, throws it out here. It's going to be complete, incomplete, and Fort Payne will get the football. He fumbled the football, and Gary Wright picked it up and ran it all the way down to the 1, but the pass was incomplete.
Is that Thompson that read that play? That was Thompson covering over here. He read that.
Fort Payne will get it at the 25-yard line of Buckhorn and punch this one in. It's all over with now. Fort Payne is really playing inspired football tonight.
Well, you know, Ronnie said before they started that the Wildcats were really pumped up about this game.
Yes, he told us this could be a rout. So here will be Fort Payne. Darrell Prater is in there at tailback for Fort Payne, and Clay Dobbs is in there at the fullback position for the Wildcats. They have wideouts left and right, and there Kenny looks over that defense, going to run it back to pass. He has Alex Igo, he has Igo, incomplete. Led him just a little bit too much, and once again, Kenny Chadwick got knocked down. He had Alex Igo open, just couldn't hit him.
Second down and 10.
Fort Payne's passing game has looked a lot better tonight.
Absolutely, Larry. And we've saw a few new plays that we haven't seen thus far.
Yeah. 1:04 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne leads it 31-12. They have wideouts left and right. Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback. Going to give the ball to Darrell. Darrell got outside the 30, got to the 25, got inside the 20-yard line, on down to the 19. He went from the 27 to the 19. It'll be third down and about 3 for Fort Payne. We're under a minute to go now in the third quarter, if Darrell will pick up 8 yards on that play.
Well, Darrell really made a great cut on that run. That was one of the best cuts I've ever seen him make.
How many yards he have now?
On 20 carries, Darrell has 166 yards.
Still a quarter to go. 35 seconds to go in this quarter. Fort Payne gets a touchdown here. We may not see much of Darrell in that fourth quarter. Here is Kenny Chadwick. Chadwick will run his option play. Kept it himself. Chadwick got his first down to the 15. Got to the 10 and got on inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Kenny Chadwick ran that option off to the near side, kept himself, and got his first down into the 10-yard line.
Darrell was trailing on the play. Really, if Kenny had led up a couple of yards sooner and passed it back to Darrell or lateraled it back, they might have scored on the play.
8-yard gain for Kenny Chadwick. They mark it inside the 10, just inside the 10. Fort Payne cannot get a first down. It'll be goal to go. 19 seconds to go in this quarter. Fort Payne will send Chris Mitchell in there at fullback now, and he'll be the blocker for Darrell Prater. With 19 seconds to go, Kenny Chadwick sends a man in motion back to the far side of the field, runs an option play up the middle, gave it to Mitchell. Mitchell to the 10, 5 touchdown. Oh boy, they gave the ball to Chris Mitchell, and he got through that hole in a heartbeat and went 9 yards for the touchdown, did Chris Mitchell. His first touchdown for the Wildcats. Fort Payne leads it 37-12.
Well, the middle of the defensive line for Buckhorn has really been suspect thus far tonight.
So Chris Mitchell's first carry of the year results in a TD. Fort Payne goes to 25 yards in 4 plays. And just about put this one out of reach. Jonathan Sugar will try to kick up the extra point. Snap is there. Kick is in the air. Kick is good. 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne now leads it by a score of 38-12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Chris Mitchell goes 9 yards for the first touchdown on his first carry. And that's pretty impressive. The point after by Sugar makes it 38-12. You kind of like the Wildcats' chances, and they're just playing much better here tonight.
And maybe next time we get the ball, we're going to see Justin Pay quarterbacking. He's down in front now taking some snaps.
Kenny Chadwick got his foot in it, knocked it all the way down to the 1-yard line, where Williams will have it back up the middle of 10-15, and got knocked down. Fort Payne just cleared that wedge out and knocked him down at the 22.
That was the Dream Weaver, Gary Wright, making the tackle.
7.1 seconds to go. The Dream Weaver.
Yes, Larry.
That was that's past your prime.
If you ever had a prime.
Okay, we're having a lot of fun now because we're winning. So here will be Buckhorn, as Fort Payne has new players in there. We'll try to pick up some of these new players. They with a big lead, 38-12. Back to pass, gave it on the draw play to Williams. He found a hole. Got to the 30, trying to get outside. Got to the 35, outside. Got to the 40, got to the 45, got to the 50-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Williams goes from the 23 to the 48. 25-yard run.
Corey Hickson finally made the tackle. Actually just knocked him out of bounds.
At the last play of the third quarter, at the end of 3, Fort Payne leads it by a score of 38-12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
In Fort Payne, open 7 days a week for your convenience, and they now have more copies of new releases.
Buckhorn will run a play. Swing pass, dropped it out here. Tried to run a swing pass out on this near wing, and the pass was incomplete as Billy Jackson dropped it. Through 3 quarters, Fort Payne has jumped out in front in the statistical battle there, Ronnie.
Really piling up the yardage now on the ground. Fort Payne 203 yards on the ground as opposed to Buckhorn's 163.
From the 48, it'll be second down and 10 for the Bucks. Clock does not favor them now. They can give the ball to Williams. Williams got to the 50, got to the 45, got to the 40. Great cut, got to the 35-yard line. And that is LeBarick Williams. He's the second running back that we've seen this year named Williams. The other one ran for about 245 yards. He went from the 48 down to the 36, a 22-yard run.
Clay Dobbs along with Nathan Nail on the tackle. So still with Clay in there.
13-yard gain there. I'm sorry, Rod.
Excuse me, Larry.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
With Clay, still we have some younger players in there.
Williams getting close to 200 yards, I'm sure. Back to pass. Looking, throwing across the middle, complete, and dropped. Intercepted. Fort Payne got it. And down that far sideline at the 40, 45, 50, 45-yard line will go Fort Payne. That is intercepted over there by Corey Hickson. Went right through the hands of Robinson, and Hickson intercepted. He ran it back into Buckhorn territory.
So we're finally having one of those games. Things are going our way.
Looks like unless things change drastically, Darrell Prater will be stuck at 166 yards because he's not going in the backfield now.
And Justin Pate's going to be in at quarterback.
Let's check this offense. Anthony Thompson runs in there and calls the timeout as Fort Payne tries to set their offense. We'll be back with 11:19 to go in the game. Fort Payne leads it 38-12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Homecoming, a big homecoming crowd here will leave happy tonight. Fort Payne with a big 38-12 lead. I'm going to check this lineup for Fort Payne. Fort Payne has Anthony Thompson in there at the tailback position. Clay Dobbs will be your fullback. Justin Pate will be the quarterback. And we'll try to get some of these linemen as we go along. But here is Fort Payne from the 47-yard line of Buckhorn. Justin will run Anthony Thompson, and Thompson is going to dance inside, got inside the 45 and dove it on into the 43. About a 6-yard gain there for, well, about a 4-yard gain for Anthony Thompson.
Tackle made by number 19, Dominic Herford.
Fort Payne has Tyler Cooper in there as a wideout. Now they send in Chris Mitchell at fullback, replacing Dobbs. They have Jeremy Taylor in there at one of the tackle positions. Normally Fort Payne's nose guards. We'll try to get some of the other linemen on a 2nd down and 7. Pate will run his pitch to outside of Thompson. Thompson trying to get outside, and he got to the 40, got to the 35, broke it. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Anthony Thompson. And this will be Fort Payne with a long touchdown run as Jeremy Taylor back here on the 45-yard line got into a scuffling match, and that was, I hope Fort Payne doesn't get penalized on this. If these referees saw that,
That came after the play.
but it wasn't Fort Payne. Fort Payne had that big Marcus Strong attack. It's a touchdown by Fort Payne. And it is against, they penalized both of them, but it'll be a touchdown. He went 47 yards for the touchdown, did Anthony Thompson. That play took 2 yards. Fort Payne did not deserve a penalty. I was watching that back here, and that big old Strong came in there and jumped on Taylor. Jeremy Taylor was backing off from him with his hands back, and finally Coach Sanford went out there and drug Jeremy Thompson off, and Fort Payne's going to get a penalty, but it's also going to be offsetting penalties.
I think Jeremy may have got a lick or two in before you started looking at him.
You're kidding me.
No.
10:27 to go. The wrong run by Anthony Thompson makes it. They haven't put the score up yet. It'll be 44-12. Sugar will try to kick up the extra point. Thank you. Sugar will try to kick the extra point with 10:27 to go in the game. Anthony Thompson broke about 3 tackles, and Jonathan Sugar knocked it up and hit it. 10:27 to go. Fort Payne now leads it by a score of 45-12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Anthony Thompson goes 47 yards, makes it 45-12. I think I said 45-7, but it is 45-12. And Fort Payne need to get one more touchdown to get us into the 50s. You don't want to do that, though, Raj?
Oh, why not?
10:27 to go. Maybe we can pick off a pass and get the touchdown. That way it'd be even better. Kenny Chadwick got his foot into it and knocked it into the end zone. That's the 2nd time he's done that tonight. Buckhorn will set up on the 20-yard line. The Fort Payne, with this big win, will go to 1-1 in area play. Buckhorn will drop to 0-2, and For all practical purposes, they are probably eliminated from area play. You never know what might happen, but we would think that Buckhorn would 2 wins, nobody's going to make the playoffs. Now Fort Payne will run players in and out. Now they finally run a player off the field, and we think they've got 12 on there. And they're going to pass the ball, throw it across the middle, incomplete, right through the hands of that big tight end again. That was Jonathan Crutcher, couldn't handle that one. They've dropped a couple of passes tonight.
He would have probably been able to pick up the first down if he'd have caught the ball.
Fort Payne has several new players in there. We see Josh McDaniel in there. He's a sophomore. He's in there, one of the defensive end positions, I think. And also in there is Lee Kennedy, a junior. So here's a second down and 10. They're going to run up the middle. Gave it to the big Williams, and he broke it outside 20. Got to the 25, got to the 30, and got it close to a first down. Maybe picked up 9 yards on the play. See where they mark him. He marked him to 29, and that was Williams. And Williams goes for 9 yards to the 29.
Big 24. Cy Giles is into the game.
He didn't need to hurt anybody now. So a lot of players getting the opportunity to play tonight now with a big 45-12 lead with 10:15 to go. Giles is that defensive end across the way over there. Here's up the middle to Williams, and Williams is going to get his first down, but he had to struggle for it as he got it across the 30 to the 32. Picked up 3 yards on the play. Ronnie, is he over 300 to over 200 yards yet?
Almost 191 yards on 23 carries, so he is a workhorse for Buckhorn tonight.
10:06 to go in the game. Clock is moving. Fort Payne, as we mentioned, will be on the road for a while, but the big game next week is at Scottsboro. So Fort Payne needs to go over there and knock off the Scotties. Get that Top Cat trophy. From the 33, back to pass. Throws it across the middle. This one is going to be complete. On a great tackle up there, but Nail knocked his feet out from under him, but the ball was completed to number 7. That was Marcus Rice who caught it, and it'll be about a 10-yard gain.
Remember our last trip to Scottsboro, I guess?
What happened? I don't remember it.
Pouring cats and dogs, and we jumped out to the big lead. And
oh, yeah. Is that the last time we were over there?
Well, for a game.
Led it 28-0. Came back and got beat 32-28 as they scored on the last play of the game. Another pass play, throw it across the middle of Robinson. He got this one up around the 50, and down he goes. As Fort Payne finally drug him down, had 3 or 4 players hanging on to him there, but Brandon Robinson caught this one for an 8-yard gain.
You've probably been over to the filling station since.
No, I'm afraid not. Have you?
I've got gas over there a time or 2.
Yep. Cheap gas. It'll be a 9-yard gain to the Wildcat 47, but there's only 9 minutes to go in this game. And Fort Payne has a lot of youngsters in there, leading 45-12. The quarterback is Watson. Watson will give the ball to Williams. Williams at the 50. Williams at the 45. And slipped down as he got to the 42, but he did get his first down. Picked up 5 yards and a first down at the Wildcat 42-yard line. Dobbs made the tackle. They'll mark it at the Wildcat 43, so a 4-yard gain there.
Clay's had a good bit of playing time tonight and been on a few tackles.
Yeah. 8:46 to go. Buckhorn will have Watson to the line of scrimmage with wideouts left and right. Watson will run his option play to this near side, and he has running room at the 40. Now pitches late and throw it on the ground. The ball's loose, and Fort Payne has it. Crabtree has another fumble recovery.
David Crabtree picks up his 2nd fumble recovery of the night.
Third.
He also had a interception.
Yes.
So 3 turnovers.
Man.
David Crabtree.
So David Crabtree has 2 fumble recoveries and an interception. Fort Payne will have it at the 45. And Fort Payne has Josh McDaniel in there at tailback now with 8:27 to go. Dobbs, I think, is it Mitchell or Dobbs in there at fullback?
Jeffrey Hendricks also is in the game.
And Fort Payne will run up the middle. Mitchell found a hole and got across the 50 to the 49. Chris Mitchell it is in at fullback. And Chris Mitchell went from the 45. He picked up 7 yards on the play.
Also in was number 6, Justin Judson Bates. He comes out of the game. Now he goes back in along with 16, Randy Turner into the game for Fort Payne.
They did it, yeah. And they will send Judson Bates to this near side and Turner to the far side on a 2nd down and 6 for Justin Pate. Pate will run it up the middle, gave it to McDaniel. McDaniel got across the 50, got a yard or 2 into the 48.
Little inexperience there as he turned his back instead of trudging straight ahead. He'll learn to keep going forward.
It'll be 2nd down and about 2 for these young Wildcats at the 47-yard line of Buckhorn. 7:33 to go in the game. Fort Payne leads it 45-12. The Wildcats will send wideouts to both sides of the field, and Dobbs, your quarterback, and here's a 3rd down play for Fort Payne. They're going to pitch the ball to McDaniel. McDaniel is going to be hemmed in over there. Got it to the 50, got to the 45, and got his 1st down to the 44-yard line. That's good running by McDaniel.
I thought he was going to break it long, but just at that point, number 31, Jim White, come in to bring him down, but he does pick up his 1st down, where the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
7:10 to go, so this group of youngsters have come in and picked up a 1st down. And Chris Mitchell will go in to taking the play in to Justin Pate. The Wildcats will send a wide out to the far side. That is Tyler Cooper to the far side on a 1st down. Justin will pitch the ball to McDaniel. McDaniel will try to get a block. Got a block. Got it inside. Got to the 40. Got to the 39-yard line. Good job by this young team as they got it into the 39. Picked up 5 yards on that play, did Josh McDaniel.
He's doing a good job of stopping, finding his hole, and running forward and picking up positive yards. That time 5.
Just a sophomore. And Fort Payne will send in Randy Turner with the play. And Randy Turner will be split out to the far side of the field. He's a big guy, 5'6", 106 pounds. And he splits to the far side of the field. Double teamed over there. Going to give the ball up the middle of Mitchell. Mitchell got a hole, got across the 35, got to the 30, got to the 28-yard line. 1st down for Chris Mitchell. Fort Payne, this young bunch is moving the football. He goes from the 39 to the 28, an 11-yard gain. So Fort Payne just keeps running youngsters in. They keep responding.
Tyler Cooper into the game now.
5:59 to go in the game. The ball is at the 28-yard line of Buckhorn. They send wideouts left and right. They're not going to put the ball in the air. Fort Payne will give the ball up the middle. And who is that? Dobbs in there, fullback now. And he got 4 or 5 yards. Fort Payne may have got a break. It may have been in motion. The officials have called timeout for the Heat. Timeout on the field with the score. Fort Payne 45, Buckhorn 12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Fort Payne has several new offensive linemen in there. Middlebrooks is in there. Lee Blanton is in there. Also, Clay Gorham is in there. Here's a 2nd and 5. Up the middle will be, he kept it himself and got outside, got to the 20, and he's going to be a horse collared down on a penalty play. They had him by the face mask there, and that was Dobbs who kept the ball.
That was
Pate kept the ball. Pate kept the ball and ran outside and picked up about 4 yards on the play, and then Buckhorn's going to get hit with a penalty. That'll be a 4-yard gain, and then a half the distance penalty. Will mark it at the 10-yard line. So it'll be a 10-yard penalty down to the, will they mark it? Where are they going to mark it? Right at the 10, I think. They're going to mark it just outside the 10. We'll mark it at the 11, so Fort Payne can get a 1st down. This group of youngsters, they've been very impressive. They mark it right on the 10. They moved it to the, laying right on the 10, so Fort Payne cannot get a 1st down. Judson Pate to this near side, and it'll be inside the 10-yard line for Pate. Pate will run his trap to Mitchell. Mitchell, 10-5, touchdown! Chris Mitchell with his 2nd touchdown of the night, and Fort Payne has scored over 50 points for the first time in a long time.
You have to be impressed the way this team has done it, Larry. No real big plays in the drive, just solid. Pick up a 1st down, pick up another 1st until you score. We may be seeing this group of people in a lot more.
51 points put up by this Fort Payne team tonight. 51-12, and John Sugar will try to kick up the extra point. How long has it been since Fort Payne scored 51 points? Sugar will try to put it up, and Sugar got it up, kicked it up there. It is no good, off to the far side. With 4:56 to go in the ball game, Fort Payne now leads it by a score of 51-12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Explorer.
Early and leaving happy. I guess they're going to the dance, Roger.
They're probably going home and taking a nap.
Chadwick will kick it away, and Kenny knocked it to the end zone again. Third time tonight he's kicked the ball into the end zone.
Well, he's been pounding the ball, hasn't he? He threw it well tonight.
Buckhorn will start on their 20 again. Fort Payne 51, Buckhorn 12. Wow. Pretty impressive.
Didn't Buckhorn beat Johnson 44-22? It was the other way around?
The other way around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Johnson, Buckhorn won their first two games and then lost 42-22 to Johnson, and then last week lost a heartbreaker 21-20 to Bob Jones. They scored with about 6 seconds to go in the game, did Buckhorn. Kicked the extra point, had a penalty on it, and then missed the extra point the second time. Lost 21-20. Here goes Williams outside the 20, and he stiff arms a man and tackle out of bounds short of the 25.
Tyler Cooper knocked him out of bounds after he picks up about 4 yards on the play, as we're at 4:49 remaining in the game.
Williams is right at 200 yards rushing for the Bucks tonight.
Fort Payne sends in a player that we don't even have on the roster, number 64. And I don't know who he is. I wish we could. We'll try to find out by next week. But they have a lot of youngsters in there. Sparky Spark, we mentioned a little while ago, was in there. And they also have Aaron Shelley in there on one of those defensive tackle positions. 2nd and 6. Back to pass. Throws it. If he can throw it, being pressured, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage at the 18-yard line. Good job there. And who was that in on the tackle?
I think number 24, Sabo Giles, got in on the tackle. 66 also was in on it, and we don't have him listed.
The 66 is a 9th grader that the coaches had told me they had dressed us for this game.
And who is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But he's a 9th grader. But we'll try to find out by next week. Cy Giles, as you mentioned, was also in on that tackle. But it'll be a 8-yard loss there for number 11, Watson. So here they go now on a 3rd down possession play. Going to throw the ball. It is going to be incomplete. Dropped it up at the 24. They've had a lot of balls dropped tonight.
Lee Kennedy might have gotten a hand in on the ball and caused him to drop it.
Buckhorn's going to have to kick it away. Fort Payne with 3:55 to go. They're just going to try to soften the game away now. Fort Payne will. Who are they going to drop deep? Darrell Prater went in there, and the coaches drug him off. They'll send Tyler Cooper in. And the ball boy is on the field, and now the ball boy will rush off.
Also, 22 was in there, and we don't have him listed.
Snap is good. Kick is away. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to bounce up around the 40 and will bounce out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Fort Payne will get it at the 42, leading 51-12. That's right. It's 51-12, Fort Payne.
Why don't we use this time to promote once again the Alabama Celebrity Softball Game Sports Complex tomorrow at 5 p.m. Also a game at 7 p.m. Autograph sessions. Numerous dignitaries and sports celebrities will be there. $5, I believe, at the game.
And the public address announcer, he might be worth mentioning him.
One of the best I know of will be there, me.
Crabtree in there at quarterback now for Fort Payne. They're going to run McDaniel, and McDaniel's going to get across the 40 to the 38. The Fort Payne just keeps running these youngsters in there. They keep responding. McDaniel with about a 4-yard gain on that play.
You say David was quarterbacking on the play, huh?
Yeah. Went from the 42 to the 38, picked up 4 yards.
McDaniel is down.
Yep. Josh McDaniel is down. While they work on him, let's take a break. We'll be back on the Sports Network with Fort Payne Sports Network, with Fort Payne leading 51-12.
South Y in Fort Payne is happy to bring you Wildcat Sports. Our youth are tomorrow's leaders. Randy, Teddy, Mark hits, plus 3 new songs on CD, cassette, or LP.
Josh McDaniel is limping to the sideline. They're working on him down here in front of us, and we'll pick out who that tailback is in just a moment.
I think it's the 22.
And this will be 17 out here, and down he goes as they team up made the tackle.
That was Clay Dobbs.
Dobbs' first carry of the year. Dobbs lost from the 38 back to the 42, 43, lost 5.
Well,
3:04 to go.
We don't have 22 on the roster, so I guess we'll have to find out who that is for next week.
Yep.
For the Wildcats, number 3, David.
And also coming out of the game now is Jeffrey Hendricks. He's been in there. He's out. Fort Payne will send Judson Bates to the far side of the field. Crabtree is your quarterback on a 3rd down and 11. And he's going to give the ball on the draw play, and down he goes. Dobbs got down, hit down right around the line of scrimmage. Dobbs maybe picked up a yard. It'll be 4th and 10. Fort Payne will kick it away.
Also on the line that time was 71, Clay Gorham.
A lot of young guys.
Sparky Sparks was in there.
We need to find
Aaron
out
Shelley.
who 22 and 66 are. We try to get all these guys' names mentioned. Fort Payne will kick it away. Kenny Chadwick is in there to kick it away for the Wildcats. And as a flag down, probably delay a guy. Illegal substitution against Fort Payne. How many? We've seen that a couple of times this year, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We've seen it. It seems like when it happens in a game, it happens 2 or 3 times. A deliberate penalty.
Back to the 47. And Kenny will now punt this one away probably from about his own 43 or 44 yard line with 2:03 to go in the game. All the old grads are back here. Josh McClain here. And the kick is away to the far side of the field. Charles Gamble also there. Kick is caught down around the 18-yard line. So Buckhorn will get it for one more crack. Great to be home for homecoming. They'll mark it at the 18.
It'll be 1st down, Buckhorn.
Buckhorn will have it. Lee Kennedy in that defensive secondary along with Tyler Cooper. And also Jonathan Sugart is in there. Of course, he started tonight's game. But also Judson Bates in the secondary for the Wildcats. Buckhorn still has that same team in there, it looks like. They're going to run Stewart. And Williams got outside, got to the 20, got to the 25, 30, got his feet knocked out from under him. That was a new player there.
Tyler Cooper.
And also Jason Murray on the carry.
Tyler really put a good lick on him, brought him down. It is a 1st down, time running out.
He went from the 18 to the 34, 16-yard gain. For number 20, Joe Baker. Waiting on the football to be changed with 1:43 to go in this game. Fort Payne leads it 51-12. Roger, it's always good to win, isn't it?
It sure is.
Winning and losing, you're always the same, aren't you? Here is up the middle. We'll go to this number 20 again. He got about 4 yards out of it as they ran that number 20 again at the heart of the line, Baker. And Baker went for 4 yards to the 44-yard line.
Clay Dobbs picking up another tackle.
And 1:14 to go in the game. Buckhorn's just going to be content to run the clock out here. Why should they? This will be Baker again. Baker on the carry. Baker got to the 40, got to the 45, and got knocked down there. Big hit there by Fort Payne's Lee Kennedy. Knocked him down, but he did get his 1st down across the 45 up to the 46-yard line.
And 64 now going back into the game. Maybe we'll find out who he is also, Larry.
So 64 we need to find out about also.
64, 66, 22.
So then they gave it up the middle to another guy, new guy, and he got across the 50, got to the 45, and got on down to the 43 with 37 seconds to go. And that was Ryan Elmore with a carry there. Elmore goes from the 47 to the Wildcat 46, a 9-yard gain. 23 seconds. This is probably the last play of the game unless the clock is stopped for some reason. Fort Payne with a big win here tonight. And going to pitch the ball to the near side. Bubble the ball in the air, and who's on the ground? Fort Payne has it.
And it's 64. He gets it.
Got this one, and Dan Pitts doesn't have 64. No.
Well, Dan gets his list from us, so.
7 seconds to go. Fort Payne will run one play, and it'll be all over with. Fort Payne with a big win, 51-12. We'll try to pick out who these players are. The Crabtree is in there at the quarterback position. I think Fort Payne's just going to hit a knee here. And David just hits a knee, and that's going to be it. Fort Payne with a big win tonight. Fort Payne wins it by a score of 14-12. They go to 1-1 in area play. A big win for the Wildcats over the Buckhorn Bucks tonight. Hey, Roger, we said before the game started this was a critical game for Fort Payne, and they certainly responded.
Well, you know, not only will we win the game, which was the main thing, but maybe we'll gain some confidence from this. And who knows? We're still in the area race, and maybe we'll get on a streak.
You look at the schedule, there's nobody left on the schedule that you say they should win. Fort Payne would have a chance against every team, and we're going to start next week against Scottsboro. The final score of Fort Payne 51, Buckhorn 12. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.